case that Canada is
Let me just turn that down a little bit, listening to a bit of CBC radio this morning on my drive to launch the Seadoo into the water. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Yukon Bob video. Nice to have you back with us. Going to be a little bit of maybe a shorter video today. Been making some longer videos over the last little while. And today just going to do a little simpler ride. I'm just heading up to Lake Simcoe, which is where my season began this year on the Seadoo. About halfway through the season now, and returning to Lake Simcoe today. It's just a little over an hour for me to get there from my house, and I'm going to launch on the bump there on the bottom end of Lake Simcoe at a little place called Keswick. It's not much of a launch there, just kind of a concrete pad to get into the water, but it works. So that's where I'm heading today. And I think what we're going to do today is explore some of the shoreline of Lake Simcoe, and we're going to hit Friday Harbour, which is probably the biggest resort complex in all of Ontario, and it's on the shores of Lake Simcoe. We'll drop into Friday Harbour, have a look around, see what's going on there. It's a Monday today, so it could be kind of quiet out there. We'll see what's happening, though, as we make our way up the shoreline of Simcoe. Thanks for coming along on this one. We'll see what we get up to. Winds are supposed to pick up this afternoon, so I'm getting on a little bit earlier this morning. Hope to be on the water by around 10 o'clock this morning. We'll see what conditions we have. It should be nice, at least until later this afternoon when I hope to be off the lake. Looks like traffic is slowing just a little bit in front of me, but it's not too bad because we will be up there in about an hour. Okay, about an hour's time, and we're up at Keswick. This is the launch point. It's not that far for me to get to here. And let me give you a little look at the launch here. It's not much of a launch. It's just a kind of a scummy concrete pad here that gets into the water. But look at all the algae on the surface of the water out there. It's just full of this stuff because of all the heat, I guess, we've had over the last while. It's just bloomed on the surface of the water, so I'll have to be a little bit careful of that. Going to get the straps unhooked and some of the camera gear onto the Seadoo. And there is a guy who has a mobile trailer thing here. He's just right over there. It's a fee to get in here. It's $20 to launch and park for the day here, so it is what it is. $20 is not too bad. I've seen $40, $45, $50 in places around Ontario. So 20 is reasonable. Not the best launch, but it'll do. And then we head out underneath that bridge there, out to the bigger waters of Lake Simcoe. So let me get a couple things hooked up. Most of the camera gear is already in the Seadoo. I just have to mount a few cameras, get the life jacket, a couple of other things, and then pay my fee, and we can get in the water. Yeah, there's a lot of this pollen, algae stuff right on the surface of the water, so don't want to suck up too much of that. Although it's not really a problem. That's not the type of stuff that's going to plug an impeller. It's just loose kind of surface stuff, but it is really kind of scummy back in here in this inner harbor here, so it'll be nicer to get out onto the big lake. But what a beautiful morning. It's nice. We're going to head right out here. This is why you can't bring a bigger boat in here, because you do have to go under this road bridge in order to get out onto the bigger body of Lake Simcoe. What you do is you end up going right through the Pride Marina, which is, duck a bit, which is this marina right up in front of me here. It's a big marina on Lake Simcoe, probably the biggest marina on Lake Simcoe. And you've got to go underneath that road bridge there. Then you go through the marina to get out onto Lake Simcoe. Keswick Marina Services. Gas station right over here. I don't advise you to fill up there because they charge a lot more for gas on the water versus the road. And I've said this before, the road pump is right there, 159.9, and probably for the same regular fuel right beside me here on the water, you'll pay another 10-15 cents a liter just because you're on the water. Looks like a nice morning. There's a big flag up here somewhere. We'll get a shot of the flag as we go by it, see if the wind's pretty calm or picking up. mother leading all the young ones. They don't look so young anymore, do they? They're almost the size of the mother. I wonder if they eat this green stuff at all. I don't know. This is one of the marinas I came to have a look at when I was first thinking about getting a boat maybe 7-8 years ago, before I first bought my first Seadoo. And I was thinking of buying a bigger boat, you know, a Sundance or something like that, a 30-foot boat, a 35-foot boat, something like that. And then I came up here and had a look, and I thought, yeah, you could park it at a marina, and you'd have to have it at a marina of some sort. But then what would you do? You go out from the marina, you go out for 3 hours one way and then 3 hours back. That would be your day trips. A couple times a year, you might take it for a week and head out, provision it up, and head out onto Georgian Bay, head further up if you're on Georgian Bay, or out onto Lake Simcoe, and then you'd bring it back. I noticed a lot of people were just sort of using the dock as a campground area and using their boat as a kind of a hotel, motel place to sleep. So I looked at that whole situation. I thought, I'm going to get bored of that really quick. Plus, if you've got a boat that size and it's a little windy or rougher, you almost need two people to kind of operate it. And I thought, well, I want to be able to manage this by myself, just one person, so I could use it more often. And that's where I kind of decided that a big boat probably wasn't the thing for me. And then I met some of the guys with the Seadoo Tours riding group, and I thought the Seadoo is just perfect because I can get around all of Ontario, see all of the lakes, inland and also the bigger Great Lakes, and just really get to see a lot of area very quickly, very easily. And that became the actual thing for me that inspired me to get out onto the waters of Ontario, was when I found the abilities that a Seadoo has, or a personal watercraft. So that's how that all came about. Bought my first one back in 2018. 3 Seadoos later, I'm now riding a 2022 GTX 300 Limited. They've all been the 300 Limited. All my Seadoos have been the 300 Limited. I might at some point buy an Explorer Pro. That would be a good Seadoo for me too, but haven't got there. All right, so we're just coming out onto the bigger water of Lake Simcoe. We're on a bay, or an arm, if you want to call that, at the very bottom end of Lake Simcoe, launching from, as I said earlier, Keswick. Plan is today to head across this arm over here, head to the other side, the shoreline, follow the shoreline up. We'll take a drop into a little harbor over there, marina called Lafroy Harbor, take a drop in there and have a look around, see what's going on. And then from there, we'll come back out, make our way up along the shoreline of Lake Simcoe, all the way up the shoreline, past Innisfil, and up to Friday Harbour, this massive resort on the shores of Lake Simcoe, and just have a look, see what's going on in there today. Pop in, maybe get a drink in there or something like that. I brought a sandwich with me. I've got the cooler, got a drink in there as well, a radish or two. Just a bite for lunch. We'll do that somewhere later on today. Looks nice right now. We'll see what it's like later in the day. Okay, I want to put these keys away before I lose them. Just drop them in there. Perfect. I think we have got everything set. Only thing I forgot to bring was a hat. Maybe there's one in the hatch, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go. Well, just like that, we've made it to the other side of Lake Simcoe, to the west side, and we'll just parallel the coastline, head up the coastline on the west side of the lake. fairly shallow right along this area. It's not all that deep. Few boats out this morning. Seen about 7, 8 boats cruising around. It's a nice morning, so yeah, I would expect there to be some boat traffic out here. But it is a Monday, so it'll be a little quieter on the lake today than it was yesterday or the day before on the weekend. This gets pretty busy out here on the weekends, but during the week, not so bad. The one thing I don't like about Lake Simcoe is a couple of things. One, there's pretty much cottages all the way around the entire lake, so you don't get really that wilderness experience out here that you can find out on Georgian Bay or maybe some of the other lakes. There's just so many cottages all around the lake, and that's understandable. This is the biggest body of water other than Lake Ontario next to the city of Toronto, so there's a lot of cottages all the way around the entire circumference of Lake Simcoe, but it is a pretty big lake. And we'll just make our way along. You can see the water there. It's a nice green color this morning. Not all that deep, maybe 10, 12 feet here, something like that. And again, cottages, 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 cottages. Pretty much like that all the way around the lake. I think we should do a little water test just to see how the water temperature is. That is not bad at all. You can swim in there. Oh, they got a research vessel going out this morning. I wonder what they're studying. Whether or not there's still fish in the lake, what the temperature of the lake is, I don't know. Lake Simcoe Region Conservation Authority. Looks like they're based out of Lafroy Harbor here. That's the beach for Canadian geese. Nobody else is allowed, only geese. Tons of them in there. I haven't been to the restaurant here in years. There's a nice little restaurant here in Lafroy Harbor. In the past, I've stopped in there and had lunch or maybe dinner once, but haven't stopped in years because usually it's at the start of my trip. I come in here first and then I'm heading out further down the lake. So this is the harbor entrance right here. Launch area, retrieval area for personal watercraft, and more Canada geese. God, they are just everywhere you go. Tons of them. Follow the leader. Just around the corner up here, you kind of run into this boulder field. I don't know if somebody stuck that branch in there. I think they have. They stuck that branch in there as a bit of a warning that all these rocks are in here in the water right off this little point. So somebody has stuck a branch in the water there, which is a great idea because it's not so bad for a Seadoo. You can go right over top. But if you were in here with a prop sticking down, whipping along the shoreline, you came around this corner, yeah, that could be a problem because those are some pretty big boulders down in the water right down there. It's like when you look at the shoreline here, it's like looking at a subdivision. Just cottage, 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 cottage. You could be on a subdivision somewhere, except you've got a lake in front of you. Look how clean the water is in here in this bay. So pretty. We're really not up to all that much today, just kind of enjoying the morning on the water, part of the afternoon, poking around, looking around, no major game plan. Just get out on the water and enjoy the day a bit. Because it's a good day today, the next few days not so good. So sometimes you just gotta make a decision and go for it when the conditions are pretty good. You can usually tell with the wind apps 24, 48 hours in advance. They're fairly accurate as to what the wind conditions are going to be on the lakes. I use Wind Finder. There's another one called Windy. There's another one called Sail Finder, I think it is. Sail something. But they're only accurate for about 48 hours or so. At least that's what I found. After that, it's a little bit unpredictable as to what the wind's going to be. Weather, a little more predictable a number of days out, but the wind, not so much. So I always kind of look ahead on the wind apps and kind of look at it and then make a final decision sort of 24 hours before I'm going. If things have changed, okay, they've changed. But if not, then I go. But you don't want to drive all the way somewhere, especially on long drives. Get all the way up there and find that, yeah, it's nice and sunny and warm, but the wind is blowing like heck. You got to use the wind apps to know what the wind conditions are going to be like when you get to the location you're going to. That's a big old boathouse. That looks like it's been there for a while. Got a concrete structure all the way around it. So not too far up the lake now, we're going to hit a little area called Innisfil Beach. We'll take a little drive by there and have a look, and then further up from that is Friday Harbour. A couple of islands out here. There's an island over there, and then another island over there. 3 or 4 big islands in Lake Simcoe. Some of them actually have ferry service to run cars back and forth from the mainland over to the islands. The islands are actually that big. And it looks like there's a camp in there, a summer camp. I see a bunch of kids back in there, but I don't see any of them out on the water. I think this was the area where I saw all the kids last year. Yeah, that's a summer camp in there. And at some point during the day, they've got a program where they bring them all out on the water, but they're not out today. Unfortunately, because I got some nice video of all the kids just really enjoying the water last summer. It's called Arrowhead, Camp Arrowhead. You can see the sign on the building right over there. There's a fully mature tree. That's a beautiful tree. It almost looks like it's been landscaped, but it hasn't. And just like that, we have arrived at the entrance to Friday Harbour. The last time I was up here, last year, the sign was no longer there at Friday Harbour. It had been gone, and now I see it's back up. So this is, as I said earlier in the video, probably the biggest development project anywhere on any lake in Ontario. I think it's been around now for at least 7 years. I can remember when they were first starting building this, I looked at some plans, drawings, in a showroom kind of thing in Toronto, and sort of proposing what they were going to do up here, and now it's all come to fruition. There's been like 4 or 5 phases of Friday Harbour, and it's a massive development. It's got swimming pools, it's got tennis courts, it's got a golf course, it's got a marina, it's got restaurants, it's got entertainment, it's got a grocery store, it's got a bank, it's got a liquor store. It's got everything in here now. It's a massive, massive development. And of course, the stuff on the water, more expensive the further back you get, the cheaper things get. Although I don't think anything is really very cheap in here at all. At one point when you came in here, you used to be able to pull right up to the very front of Friday Harbour, tie up your personal watercraft, and then just walk up to the restaurants and shops, and coffee shops, and all of that sort of stuff. Nowadays, they don't have any place for you to tie up in there. You have to tie up, I think, somewhere back in this area over here. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but there's some area back here. So in the past, this is where I've come, right in here and tied up right along here. But as you can see, they have taken all of the cleats out. So there are no cleats here anymore. There's nothing to tie up to. And what he is talking, well, there is a cleat. There's actually a cleat right there. That's where I'm going. There is a cleat right here. I think I can pull right in here. And there's some nice rubber bumpers down below, so that should be good to hook up to. Perfect. Okay, so I think this is allowed. And this is nice because it puts you right at the waterfront. You can walk right up there. Everything is accessible really nice and quick rather than walking way around from the outside over there. So if you're allowed to do this, this is okay. There's just not a lot of cleats and there's none along over there. So we'll see if this is allowed or not if somebody comes along and tells me to move. Okay, that should be safe and secure there. As long as nobody makes me move, I should be okay. Let me show you around Friday Harbour a little bit. They are still building. Those things back there are under construction, so this whole place is still expanding further out. It's a Monday, so it's going to be pretty quiet in here today. Weekends are very busy here. They've got live entertainment, live music, all that kind of stuff. But on Monday, I think a lot of things are probably closed on the Monday because they're open all weekend. I've had lunch somewhere just down here in the past. Don't think I'll have lunch today since I brought a sandwich with me. But here's what the boardwalk looks like at Friday Harbour, LCBO. If I remember right, there's a Starbucks over here. There's also a big grocery store down this way. This has been one of those developments that has turned out to be very successful. One of those things where if you build it, they will come. And they have kept coming here as they've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 underway here. So this place has continued to expand over the years. A lot of these places may even be closed on Monday. Mediterranean food. Look how beautifully they've done their outdoor patio. I'll take you through a little walk into this grocery store just to give you an idea of what it looks like in there. This is it here. It's called Friday Harbour Fine Foods. They've even got their own special water, wake water. Pre-made meals. They've got their own symbol, Friday Harbour. Yeti coolers, Yeti mugs. Like I say, it's all fairly high-end stuff in here. So that is the grocery store at Friday Harbour. Last time I was here, I think I bought a sandwich, went down over there and sat on one of those Muskoka Adirondack chairs and had lunch down that way. There's some more of that grass you never have to mow. I should just go get my sandwich, bring it up here and eat it right here. Okay, drink, a banana, lunch. Okay, that is going to be my lunch spot for today. That chair right there underneath the shade from this tree right here with this view right out here on this beautiful artificial turf. Perfect. Ah, oh, that's nice. So what I've got in here is a tuna sandwich that I picked up yesterday at a restaurant. Had a tuna sandwich for dinner last night at this place nearby me in Toronto, near the house. Just went out and had dinner there last night at the end of a soccer game I watched on TV. So just gonna eat that sandwich. It's just a half a tuna sandwich that's left, the banana radish, and that will be lunch for today. And hopefully nobody kicks me out of here for not buying food right here. It's just a half a sandwich, but that's all I need. That'll hit the spot just perfectly. Got some electrolyte water, banana radish. I am set for lunch. A quick shot of my tenderized banana. Anything you put in that cooler that bounces around in there is going to get bashed up a little bit. I remember a couple of years ago I was out on a lake and I had some peaches. When I went to get those peaches out of the back of the cooler after a ride across some rough water, there was nothing left of those peaches. They were just smashed to smithereens. I ended up chucking them in the lake. The banana fared better than the peaches did a couple of years ago. That's going to roll around in there, isn't it? Yep. That was a nice little spot to stop and have lunch. Certainly better than having lunch off the back of the Seadoo. At least there I had a nice chair, a little bit of shade, and nobody kicked me out. So that was kind of nice. So that's the harbor master down there. These are the docks he was talking about, these 3 docks right in here. These are the ones you can tie up to and then walk down that way. So it's not as far as I thought, actually. I thought it was further down on the other side of the harbor master location, but no, it's right in here. These docks here, you can tie up here, and they're great for a Seadoo. They're a little bit high, but you've got these plastic bumpers, so at least your Seadoo doesn't slide underneath the dock, which is great. And then you just walk along the boardwalk down there and you're over to that area there. So that's not too bad, I guess. I got a lot closer than that, but I don't think you're supposed to exactly be where I was. You can see by that windsock, just as the wind app had predicted, the wind is now starting to pick up on Lake Simcoe. I had thought about maybe going down to Barrie, which is just down around the point that way, then back down Kempfield Bay. But yeah, we're starting to get some chops, some 1.5, 2 foot little rollers out here now. So no, I'm not going to go down to Barrie. That would just be fighting the water all the way down, fighting the water all the way back. You were probably wondering if I was ever going to put the headband on today. Well, I have it on now, just to kind of protect the head more from sun than anything else. But I think I'm going to, I just had a little tour around Friday Harbour, but I think what I'm going to do is just wrap up this Yukon Bob video right here at Friday Harbour. Starting to get choppy, just as I thought it might this afternoon, which is why I wanted to get out early. So I'm going to make my way back to where I came from, back towards Keswick, and pull out of the water a little bit early today. Not the most exciting video today, just a quick run along the shore, Simcoe up to Friday Harbour, and then back down to Keswick. Probably only out for about 4 hours, so a little shorter one today. There have been some very long videos in the last couple of weeks, but this one a bit shorter. Thanks for coming along, guys, on this Yukon Bob video. Lots of things to still do on the waters around Southern Ontario. We'll see you guys somewhere out there on the next one. Till then, stay safe on the water, and bye for now.